Moving to a new country is more than just a change of scenery. It's a change of perspective, culture, and sometimes your entire way of life. Meet Shani, a South African expat living in Australia, sharing her journey of adaptation, safety, and personal growth.
I am Sharnay, and I'm from South Africa. I don't really know how to answer this question normally, but yeah, thank you for having me on your channel. I'm living in Australia, specifically Perth, Australia, and I got here in Feb last year, so just over a year now. The story changes all the time, to be honest, but I think just before COVID hit, my husband and I decided we wanted to move, and we knew we wanted to come to Australia just because it is kind of safer here, and he has family here as well. And I think we forgot about it because this was like 2018-19 that we decided we wanted to move. We didn't really do anything, we just forgot about it. And I think in 2021, towards the end of 2021, we got the news that his company was moving him to Perth, Australia. So we were like, all right, let's go. Perth was not on our radar, to be honest. I think we thought we'd probably end up in Melbourne or Sydney. So coming to Perth was definitely not planned. Yeah.
Though Melbourne and Sydney were originally on their radar, the opportunity brought them to Perth, a city they hadn't considered but now call home.
When we touched down and just being free, I think that's the one thing. It's just when you're back home in South Africa, I don't know if it's the same in Ghana, but when you're walking, we never walked in South Africa. I never would just walk to the shop, or even if I'm in a mall, I would just clutch everything and hold it tight, or I won't even carry a bag. And here, when we got here, it was just a sense of freedom, and safety, which was a lot to learn. Just to be okay with walking down the street at night or walking alone as a woman. That was the biggest, I think, kind of culture shock, because you hear about these things, but you don't know until you experience it. And I think it's one of the things that I love the most here is I feel more comfortable to be myself and to just walk around and be on my own.
For Shani, the shift from a heightened state of vigilance to this newfound freedom was a revelation, one that reshaped how she lived her daily life.
I mean, I can only speak to Perth, and it's a mixture pot. I think the one culture shocks as well in Perth was just how diverse it is here. I think it's more diverse than your Sydney's and Melbourne. There's literally everybody from every country, every ethnicity, every culture. Basically, it's a proper mixing pot. There's also a lot of South Africans here, so it's nice. So you don't feel too out of place. I think one thing that I noticed when we just landed was it felt like home. It's literally I'm coming home and not I just moved to a new country. So life has been great, exploring different cuisines, getting used to just not feeling scared to just move freely, creating a circle of friends and meeting people from all across the world, because that's how mixed everybody here is. And also just, I think everything works. I don't know if you know about what's happening in South Africa, but they have water shedding, load shedding, and a bunch of other stuff. So it's nice to be in a country where public transport works. We have lights all the time, we have water all the time, we have safety. I don't think I realized how big the safety thing was until I got here. And even I was living in a proper suburb when I was still in South Africa, but even then you still felt anxious all the time. And here I just don't have that type of anxiety. I can literally just live my life and just be me. I don't have to worry about all these other things, if that makes sense. So it's been peaceful. It's been an adjustment, but it's been a journey, a very, very great journey. And I'm happy that I can, I'm fortunate enough to live here and even sit here and talk about this.
From diverse cuisines to friendly communities, Shan felt a sense of connection in her new surroundings, but even more importantly, she discovered the freedom to explore life without fear. But our question now is, what should foreigners keep in mind before moving to Australia?
I think it just depends. I think it depends. If you're coming as a visitor, you're gonna have to be they're very strict here of like who they let into the country. There's a lot of things that you cannot bring into the country, and usually you'll get a list of it. Like it's on the government website. So if you just type in like things that you can't bring to, let's just say Perth or Sydney or whatever, you'll get a list. And I think it's really just following the local rules because it changes from state to state and city to city. Um, yeah, like I think it's really just being mindful, coming with an open mind and being mindful and adaptable. If you're coming and you're like, because I know in South Africa we have rules, but we don't really pay attention to most of the rules because they just do whatever we want to do because that's how we are. But here it's like there's certain things that you won't do here that you would probably do back home. Um, you just got to be mindful. You just literally have to be adaptable, be mindful, and just respect those around you. That's yeah. I think that's basically it. Like the rules really, it just depends on which state you're in.
How has your experience of living abroad impacted your mindset and changed the way you see things?
I think one thing I realized when I got here was just how privileged they are. Like everybody here, everybody that's been living here since they were babies or young kids or whatever, they are so privileged and they don't even realize it. And I think like I said to my friend, I just think how far I would have been in life, or I don't know, I don't want to say how far, but I just think how different my life would have been if I lived here from like a young age. Just that privilege, just not having to worry about things like I said, things like being robbed in the street when you're just walking to the store, or I don't know, people breaking in, or like just the like getting from A to Z or whatever. It's just that like freedom, that privilege. I think that's what I think about the most, just how different my life would have been. But now that I have it, I also appreciate it more because everything works here. Like I said, like we have free buses in certain parts of town. We have free medical care, medical aid, which is also like a big step up. And just like everything just works. It just makes life so much easier not having to think about all these other things and just living your life. And that's something I won't take for granted. I think it really has just changed how I don't know, I feel and think. I'm just more at peace.
Do you have any advice for someone looking to travel abroad?
I think the one thing is literally just have an open mind. I think if there's one thing I've noticed about people moving to different countries is they go there with this one idea of what this country is supposed to be, and when they get there it's like, "Oh, it's not like this," and that kind of ruins their experience. But like one thing that I found is if you go with an open mind, it's just more enjoyable. Try the local things. Like one thing that took me a long time, because I'm a spice person, okay? I like my spices. The one thing that took me the longest to get used to was just the spices they use here. And I had my mother-in-law send me some things. She brought some things over. And after like the 6 month mark, I think I settled in and I tried the spices and things here. So like I'm giving myself the advice that I'm giving everybody basically. It's just like have an open mind and try the local things. Try the things that you literally or that drew you to go to that specific country because that way you're going to enjoy it more and just have fun, like just enjoy it. It's a journey, like life's literally a journey, and it's such a privilege to be able to do things like that, so really just enjoy it.